Here we go. It has started, and how bad it gets, nobody knows. I have all the details and exactly what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to share with you the details of some new reports that were released and breaking down all the details of what is going on right now, as well as what we can foresee in the relatively near future, as we've been getting some new economic details released, and this is giving us a much better picture of what is actually going on. Now, I do completely recognize that many people here in the community need additional money right now, whether that is through a raise to benefits, whether it's a stimulus check, whether it is monthly checks, whatever it happens to be. We all completely recognize additional financial assistance is definitely needed right now, as the last stimulus check we got was about 2.5 years ago, and it has been time for something else to especially help out the low income and those fixed income beneficiaries. I know a lot of you here in the community need this. I see the comments and the concerns down below in the comment section, as we have been for the last 2.5 years now. A lot of things are needed very badly right now, but like you've been hearing me talk about before in other videos, we've got to continue watching the economy. It's all about the economy when it comes down to the likelihood of additional money or anything like that coming forward. And again, we're getting some new economic data right now. I want to share those reports with you right now because we're seeing some major cracks, and like I've been saying for a while now, we've got to watch for the cracks. Once they start to happen, they start to open up pretty wide, right? So let's get into it and talk about what's going on here and the new reports that have been released. Really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here, or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side every single day to help you out in any way that I possibly can. As we all know, things continue to change very rapidly right now. It's a very busy and confusing time. So again, thanks for being here. Really do appreciate it. I'll be here for you every single day, no matter what. That's my promise to you and everybody here in the community. And as always, I'm sticking to it. All right, thanks so much. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so. And let's get into it and talk about the new economic data I want to point out for you. And again, why we've got to watch this very closely. Now, I just want to reiterate for just a second. I know you might be thinking, wait, I didn't sign up for an economic lesson. I know, however, okay, this is not an economics class. However, it's a little bit like that because here's the thing. Like I've said so many times before in other videos, if you want additional money, if you need additional stimulus checks, something like that, it's all going to be predicated 100% on the economy. It is every single time, even though we might think, but wait, they care about us and they're going to send us a check if we ask for it. No, unfortunately, that's not how it works, right? It's all about the economy, okay? However, I've been saying for a while now, we've got to continue watching this. Let me break down the details. All right, so just the other day, we got the latest non-farm payroll report, which is just a fancy way of saying the job report, okay? It gives us a glimpse into what is going on with the jobs here in the United States. Are there jobs being created? Are jobs being lost? What's going on with the labor participation rate? What is going on with average hourly earnings? All kinds of things like this. That is one report. There's a few others here that I want to talk about here in the video as well. However, the report from the other day, okay, so this is a report that we get once per month. It's always released on the first Friday of the month. We just got it a couple days ago, okay? As a result of this, 187,000 new jobs were created in the United States in the prior month, okay? It might seem like, oh, that's a lot, right? Well, this is actually the lowest reading, as in the lowest amount of jobs created in a single month since December of 2020. So that's probably not the best, right? That's almost, what is that, almost 3 years ago now? So this is a very low reading, okay? At the same time, the unemployment rate ticked up to 3.8%, okay? Just earlier this year, to put it into perspective, it was sitting at 3.4%, which is the lowest figure that we've seen since 1969, okay? I've also been saying for a while, if we're sitting at the lowest figures that we've seen in, what is that, 54 years? I think my math is right on that, 54 years. If this is the lowest number we've been seeing for the unemployment rate at 3.4%, the only place it can really go is up, right? I've been saying that for a while. Well, here we are, nearly a half a point higher from what it was just a few months ago earlier this year, now sitting at 3.8%. Again, we've got to watch all the figures. This is still very low historically, but I've also mentioned before in previous videos, just not that long ago, I mentioned, why is the unemployment rate, staying relatively low? And where are all these jobs coming from? Is it because we're adding tons of new people to the workforce? No, it's because people have no money right now, and because people are getting multiple jobs. This is the one and only time in history that in this country, we have a huge percentage of people that have multiple jobs. We've never had this many people in the history of this country before have this many jobs. 2, 3, even 4 jobs for some people working full-time, part-time. I mean, obviously the combination of some of those, but this is the highest point ever in the history of this country that we've had this many people working multiple jobs. Why? Are we that, do we have that great of a work ethic here? No, it's because people need money, right? It's because people are broke and need money. That's why we're doing all this, right? So it's craziness what's going on right now. Anyway, this report was released, and I want to bring this to your attention because this is just one crack in the bucket out there that we need to think about and we need to watch very closely, okay? I've been saying for a while now, it's going to take a while. It's a very slow thing to get started, but when we start to see these cracks emerging like this, it's something we certainly need to pay attention to very closely, okay? Another thing I want to point out, this unemployment rate, okay? We've seen many figures out there. Some people are suggesting we could potentially see the unemployment rate going up well over 7%. I'm going to say this much. If we see a 7% handle on an unemployment rate here in the country, you better believe there's going to be money plowed out in the form of checks. It basically helicopter money at that point, okay? Okay, obviously there's no guarantees on anything, but I'm going to say this much. If there is 7% unemployment here in this country, you better believe there's going to be stimulus happening. Almost guaranteed, okay? Now, obviously I can't promise anything, but I'm going to say that is very, very, very likely if that happens, okay? We'll have to see here what happens, but it's starting to happen here. Now, I want to talk about another report. Another report was released showing 61% of the population right now has no money, literally no money, living paycheck to paycheck. Whatever paycheck it happens to be, it could be Social Security check to Social Security check. Whatever it happens to be, it could be paycheck, doesn't really matter, 61%. That means that only 39% of the population actually has a little bit of money to live on right now. The other 61% are barely scraping by right now. And again, this has been the reality for a very long time, but these numbers and these percentages continue to get bigger and bigger. At some point, when is it going to tap out and say, hey, we have the huge percent of the population that has literally no money anymore, right? Another report that I found as well is showing 40% of those people earning a six-figure income. That's a lot of money, six figures, 100 grand or more. 40% of these people, again, living paycheck to paycheck. Not good, right? At the same time, interest rates on mortgages. And again, this might be sounding like, okay, like what does this have to do with anything? It means the affordability of housing, the affordability of everything. The fixed rate on a 30-year mortgage out there is well over 7%, and there's estimates out there it's going to be topping 8% relatively soon. Again, is that making things more affordable or less affordable? I mean, obviously, that is way less affordable, right? Just a couple years ago, the interest rate on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage was below 3%. That was like practically free money at that point, right? Now we're sitting at over 7%, approaching 8%. That is massive. My point is, somebody that could afford a, say, $200,000 or $300,000 house years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, something like that now, could not even get anywhere near that now today. It'd probably be significantly less, okay? Those monthly payments are very, very high. It'd actually be pretty interesting. I should run the numbers and all that and give you some comparisons from a couple years ago, just like 2 years ago, at a 3% fixed rate mortgage to what it is now, say 7.25%, something like that. It'd be crazy, the numbers on that as far as monthly payments and affordability. It's massively higher for a lot of people, and a lot of people just can't swing that right now, right? So anyway, some things that are going on, okay? So these are the details I want to bring to you. Now next, another report that comes out. This was actually released about a week or so ago, but this one was released, and I want to bring this to your attention as well. So this is a report that we get out. It's called the JOLTS, okay? JOLTS or something like that. Whatever. Anyway, it stands for Job Openings Turnover Survey, okay? So the whole point of this one is to basically see how many openings there are out in the economy at this time, okay? So the previous month, it came in at 8.83 million open jobs, okay? That seemed like a lot. However, it was just not that many months ago where we had 12.4 million job openings here in the country. It's a lot, okay? Now, the previous month before that, it was sitting at 9.58. Okay, what do these numbers represent, and why do we care about this? Okay, it stands for basically how many jobs are opening out there. Now, why do we care about it? Because it shows the appetite for businesses, large, medium, and small, doesn't really matter, to their appetite for hiring, okay? If we're seeing less job openings, it means that they're probably thinking, hey guys, we got to scale back here. We're not willing to hire as many people because, we foresee something on the horizon. We foresee potentially an economic contraction, a recession, whatever they're thinking. They're thinking, hey, we've got to conserve capital. We need to conserve money to make it through this storm. So again, a lot of different indicators out there. Now, could all of this be wrong? It could be, but I'm just saying, we got to look at the big picture here, right? You can't just look at one survey. We can't just look at one report and say, oh, this is fine. It's one bad report. It's okay. One rotten apple in the bunch. No big deal. We'll just throw it out and we'll just be good to go. And that's fine. But if you look at the whole bushel of apples and you say, hey, look, they're all bad, or like 80% of them are bad, this isn't good, right? Something's wrong with the crop. Well, same thing kind of goes with the economy here. If we're looking at the big picture and we see, hey, wait, all these economic reports are coming in bad or not very good these days, that's probably an indication that maybe something's going on under the seams or like under the hood here. We've got to continue to look at this and see what is it actually happening here and what is this going to lead to in the future. Is it going to bust up the whole crop like in this example that I'm giving you here? Does that kind of make sense? So anyway, a lot of things going on. And again, I know I've been talking about this for a while, but we are starting to see this really starting to emerge right now. And also, we're only having a few months here left of the year, right? Well, we will see. Oh, which, by the way, one quick side note, remember, starting September 1st as well, so a couple days ago, we got the start of the interest that is starting to accrue on student loan payments, and then payments will begin again October 1st, okay? What does this mean? Simply means people don't have any money. Now they're going to have to start paying the student loans again. Nobody has any money, and now they have to start paying those debts, which have not been paid in like 3.5, almost 4 years now. The student loan payments have been on pause. Well, guess what? Is that going to siphon even more cash out of the pockets of people that don't have it? Sure is. And what does that mean? Less economic activity. If those people were previously spending that money on things like whatever's, food, shelter, discretionary spending, whatever it happens to be. I don't know. It's different for everybody. But if all that money was going into the economy previously, now it's going to go into federal student loan payments. Okay. What does that mean for the economy? Less money going into the economy. Is that going to be stimulative? No at all, right? So my point is, it's just going to slow this thing down even further, and it's going to exacerbate the contraction. Make sense? Anyway, I could sit here and go on and on about this forever, but I'm probably going to leave it there for now because this is just kind of what I want to share with you. So a lot of stuff, but either way, we're starting to see those cracks that I've been talking about for a while now. They're emerging. I mean, they're very visible at this point, right? Have you ever seen like a frozen body of water? It could be a lake or a pond or whatever, something like that. In the spring when it starts to thaw, what do you start to see? You start to see cracks, and you start to think, that ice is not safe anymore, right? Well, to be real, though, ice is pretty much never safe. You should never think that ice is safe because it's not. But my point is, when you start to see those cracks emerging in the spring as it starts to thaw, you clearly know something isn't right. That is not safe. Look out. Don't touch it, okay? My point is, that's the analogy I wanted to give you really quickly because that is what we're seeing right here with this analogy of the economy as well. Either way, I'll keep you posted if I get any more details on this, as we will be getting a lot more reports. Every single month, we're getting a lot of reports out there. These are some, and we've got more to come here in just a matter of days. Oh, and the Federal Reserve will be meeting in about, 2 weeks or so? Well, maybe a little more than 2 weeks. Yeah, 2.5 weeks. The Federal Reserve will be meeting yet again and deciding on interest rates. Again, more kind of fuel to this fire of the economic contraction. Make sense? Either way, I'll keep you posted any other details that I get out there. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Take care, have a good one, and catch you again later in the next